Caitlin LeBlanc, though, banned for CLG. Jake Shen banned for Liquid as we are into Champ Select for our second game.
I mean, so the reasoning here for CLG, I guess, is that, you know, ReignOver also has at times looked good on the Kha'Zix. That also can bring a decent amount of damage. And then he can always go back to the Rek'Sai, but there we go. Okay, I was prepping some excuses for them if they didn't ban Graves, but they do. All right, they're targeting ReignOver. Good last ban there. And from Team Liquid, pretty similar actually. Also finding the Jason the Rengar up there, plus adding in the Shen. CLG definitely favorites for using those cross-map utility spells.
We'll see if Camille gets any attention at all. Was banned by TL in the last game, so see if CLG fancy it here. I mean, Darshan does like to play his carries. Maybe it's his time to step onto that champion, but for now, we'll actually take Jhin with Varus open, so CLG saying pretty clearly that we actually prefer this champion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Piglet had a pretty good showing on it last time around, and Stixxay, I think he just feels more comfortable on the Jhin than he does the Varus. He has had decent games as well on the Jhin. Now he's going to be facing that dive combo of Maokai Kha'Zix, though.
I like this pick up here for Liquid, taking that pick away from Xmithie, who is going to be moved down to a very different jungler.
Yeah, I mean, the only drawbacks that we've seen to ReignOver's Kha'Zix were mechanical misplays early on in the spring split. He still played in a very similar style. He still was very intelligent about his early pathing, but he did have a decent amount of, you know, mechanical errors. Maybe he has time to iron those out, and he'll feel confident on him. I do like it into the Lee Sin, especially if you ever get that vision advantage and you are the one to get the first strike. Isolated damage on Lee Sin will take all of the fight out of him, and he'll try and run instead of going for his combo.
Kind of pretty common with these high damage junglers. Generally, if you get the jump, you're going to win. Here's a Soraka though for Aphromoo. Picked up nice and early in the draft, so didn't want to get it banned in phase 2 again.
Yeah.
See what Liquid do to complete this first phase of picks. They had the Maokai for their first pick, nice and safe in the top lane. Jungle, of course, there for ReignOver, and now GoldenGlue with a pick to make for his team.
Sustain is definitely something Counterlogic Gaming value very highly. And we've seen it in quite a few of their drafts this time around instead of the Nami. With Soraka not being banned, that'll be the go-to for Aphro. Also like the Silence Zone. You know, the best iterations of Soraka are where people are using the Silence Zone as a layered CC. You have something else to either start it off and then you layer the silence afterwards, so that you're really able to get a large lockout period, and people really do underestimate that aspect of Soraka. So often people just tunnel on the spam healing, which is, to be fair, the most annoying part, but the silence is very big, or can be very big, in team fights.
And we saw that used very effectively by CLG when combined with Ashe in that duo lane. Instead, they've got Jhin, who does have some similar utilities, so I like all that logic there from CLG. Now Sivir, the last pick for Liquid. They banned Camille as their first one in phase 2. Yeah. CLG still picking on Matt and his Thresh despite his decent Zyra game.
And this is actually what we expected coming into this, with neither of these AD carries having too much success on the champion, but the Varus falls all the way through this entire game, not picked and banned. That's very rare in the current state of the game, but Sivir is one of the more common picks that we've been seeing very often into Jhin as well. Can spell shield so many of his abilities. All the abilities from Jhin are pretty easily telegraphed. Plus, shove them right in. Get wave control, classic Sivir. But we shall see. This is building up to be a very, very strong late game team fight. If you get your Sivir built up, your 400 CS mark, and you've got him right behind a Maokai, then you kind of get to go with the spearhead and just run straight at him.
Yep, and there's the Fiora ban for Liquid, so protecting Lourlo's Maokai in the top lane. There's Ryze ban for CLG, who's going to move into phase 2, and the first pick out of this will be Team Liquid. CLG banning Ryze again, so clearly concerned about GoldenGlue's practice on the champion. And again, given what he's played a lot of, these roam-heavy mid-lane champions that are more defensive in lane, I think that all makes sense, and they're going to save the counter pick for him as well, as there's the Nami for Matt. Going to take that away from Aphromoo, although into a heal support that he can already see, given the early round Soraka.
Yep, going to give a little bit of match there. For CLG, I think they need to push the tempo a little bit with the next two picks here, because it already looks like Team Liquid are kind of solidifying a late game edge as far as the drafting is going. So just go all in on your early game. You already have Lee Sin, you have Jhin. This is a comp that could take off super early on if they're able to create plays. And I think they should just go with that strength rather than trying to kind of peter out and semi-match more late-game threats.
Well, I like the Poppy here for CLG. Can make some plays for Darshan, but still solid if they need a bit of insurance. But what's Huhi's pick might be the big thing.
Yeah, the Poppy you talk about for Darshan has been something, even at MSI, that they were able to use to create a lot of plays, even though he would lose in CS in lane a bit and get pushed out sometimes. Big playmaking for the team fights. And he will have the confidence of Orianna Shockwave threat behind any dive that he does attempt on the back line.
CLG not investing in some sort of assassin though. They'll take their team fighter in Orianna, so maybe feeling that, okay, we actually feel relatively comfortable mid to late here. But GoldenGlue going to take, again, a big team fighter. Cassiopeia is going to be his counter pick.
Whew. Definitely a lot of late game power here for the Team Liquid squad. And CLG rounding out a bit, as you said there, but Orianna actually is usually favored slightly in the Cassiopeia matchup, yet GoldenGlue is still confident to take that one. We've seen it a bunch of times where people are still confident to take the Cassiopeia, especially if they don't think their lane opponent can actually push that and get that little bit of an early CS lead.
And the payoff's just so high, right? Like, if you get through lane as Cassiopeia, and especially if you get a lead, you'll dominate mid to late game fights.
Especially with the Sivir speed. I mean, you're working around a Maokai tank and you have extra speed for Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia, super, super high skill cap, especially if you have, extra mobility. There's a huge amount of damage that can't come out.
Well, we'll see how that all works out here. I mean, I think CLG do need to put more pressure on here in the early game, but I feel like CLG haven't usually done it through draft and more just done it through style. Like, they have ways to pick people off. Xmithie can get aggressive early. Stixxay and Aphromoo can combo in with their CC and look for picks, and Darshan can make plays with the TP. I think they're saying, you know what, we do want to get ahead early, but when we snowball the game, they prefer to do it together and find team fights and just keep going, and then just take over the map and win the game that way. That's been, I think, for me, when CLG have looked the most successful, and I think they're picking themselves into a position to do that.
Definitely true. And Soraka's no slouch early on. So you can siege up pretty early with Soraka to help out with those once you do get your picks, right? The Lee Sin and the Jhin are going to be the ones spiking early to look to actually create for them. We'll see if they can actually get it done, though, as Team Liquid come into this one game up in the series and want to end it out as quickly as possible.
Looking clean there as well. We'll have to track if ReignOver's Kha'Zix can look as good as the Graves. I doubt it, but we'll see if he can kind of play more to the level we're used to seeing from him. I mean, his Graves is exceptional. Like, that's not a slight to ReignOver's Kha'Zix. That's just telling you how good his Graves is. And I like the Ignite from Matt as well. We're having a quick look here at level 1 because he knows that, hey, he has to cut through the Soraka, but Piglet and Matt, last game was just like the most knockout punches being thrown in bottom lane I've seen in a while. They were real feisty trying to kill each other.
Yeah, they're getting feisty right now in the jungle invade too.
Proc in there from the Thunderlords. GoldenGlue's going to kite it out, pop the Ghost, and run through to Lourlo for some protection. So, didn't have to burn any potions, I don't think. He's going to have to go back to base early, though. Huhi's going to cancel it as well, I think.
All right, so the Ghost, super low cooldown. Not the worst thing for GoldenGlue and Team Liquid to burn, but CLG, this time they take the initiative. They go for that early invade. They push in. They've got wards now on ReignOver's side of the jungle. And we'll see how Xmithie gets to play it out, being the one with the intelligence advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see a blue side invade in the same section of the map both times. Well, Xmithie is going to start on this blue buff. Going to have some help here from Darshan. Hops over the wall with the Blast Cone.
And again, for the viewers that didn't see game number 1, the reason why it's so common to have this invade up by the Raptor camp is because both times red side Maokai, whenever you have the red side Maokai, or even blue side actually, no, just red side, he sets up the saplings in that Raptor camp for the jungler, and it's a possibility of getting a super good early start for the jungler if they can get a pretty free level 2 from a sapling start, which slightly hinders your lane phase, but not tremendously.
Yeah, ReignOver starting on the right-hand side, though, so working blue plus Chromp. Doesn't want to give away information after CLG's early wards, and they do have a ward of their own on the red buff, just in case Xmithie wants to get creative. Instead, we can see that he's moving down towards his right-hand side, and Stixxay and Aphromoo done a nice job trading back here, although Nami, one of those healing supports, more defensive supports that is also quite good in lane, so should be okay, although level 1's looking a little rough right now.
All right, so let's keep tracking ReignOver's route here as he does blue quadrant into an invade here on Xmithie. But Xmithie went 3 camps right into double buff.
It's a gank. He's gonna leap in. Might actually get more spikes in. That's a flashing goal.
Oh,
Needs a bit more poison, but won't have it. And now GoldenGlue trying to cut out Xmithie. I think they've got enough. That should be first blood. No, the shield there from Safeguard.
Oh, so incredibly close there. Another summoner burned, but nobody able to execute. ReignOver still around as we see the cooldown on his jump. Is he not quite yet?
Great ward from CLG to stop that as Lourlo and Darshan also doing battle. Cannon creep really doing work on Darshan, but he takes it out.
I like the way this game is starting, Pastry. A lot of combat early on, and that means junglers should get right back out to ganking. Xmithie actually just chugging up on 70% health, might make a visit. Gets a little bit more health off the Scuttle Crab. And we'll see if the Scryer catches that ward. It did not catch the ward up in the top bush, nor did it see Xmithie. So pretty good for CLG there, but a little bit of excitement early on. Nobody going down in the end. Bottom lane hasn't got in on it quite yet, but they could jump on it.
Good bubble there into Aphromoo, and now they're going to loot him into action. Piglet trying to get in there as Matt needs a few more. Ignite's not going to be enough, though. And Stixxay going to flash in. Get the order down, and that's first blood. Goodbye, Piglet.
All right, the Jhin execution there from Stixxay. Aphromoo pretty close there on the Soraka. Had the Ignite on, but was able to walk away with his own Biscuit channeling, and CLG actually come up with that first blood, even though Team Liquid had a very close look. Now they've got one up on top side too.
Xmithie onto Lourlo, flash out from the Maokai. Good dodge of the resonating strike. Keeps him safe. But I love the attempt from Xmithie, just going straight into top lane.
Yeah, good attempt there. A lot of times you'll hold on to your Sonic Wave after the flash because you expect immediate dodges, but the Maokai is able to get it off. Good dodge there by Lourlo. Here's the one that was bottom, and that last heal there bounced from Matt. Almost was able to take him out, but even with Piglet healing, Stixxay gets in there, grenade, 4th shot, and gets the extra execution damage for first blood.
Early serrated Dirk with a few consumables versus a Cull. Should feel pretty favorable.
All right,
Stixxay.
Team Liquid were already like, all right, we've drafted really good late game, so, you know, we might have to rely on
committing.
that. Now they're like, okay, farm for late.
Already 5 minutes in. And CLG, it's kind of doing what we expected and pushing the pressure a little bit more. Darshan playing nice and far up with Xmithie still in his back pocket. He counter jungled away Team Liquid's Krugs. He's going to have that farm for himself, but going to go back and buy some long swords and leap straight back into action.
Yep, Piglet and Matt's whole objective right now, kill minions. They are just trying to sustain themselves, murder the wave as quickly as possible so he can stack up his Cull, so they can just push it and move away because they do not want to fight anymore. Even with the summoners being down, Xmithie on Lee Sin, definitely playmaking jungler. Usually you're like, oh, Soraka lane, not the best to gank, but definitely a possibility here.
Control ward cleared out for Team Liquid after shoving the wave in, so good bit of reconnaissance done there. Huhi didn't quite go down in the early exchange, and he'll catch up in CS as he takes out this pretty big wave. Should be able to get it all nice and cleanly. And GoldenGlue's been pushing in, kind of playing the matchup well, which is not what we expect usually in this 1v1, but I think the early presence may have scared Huhi just a bit.
I mean, the jungler's coming down, everybody gets down to 20 health. Definitely a lot of adrenaline pumping in the mid lane early. Actually, all lanes. See, though, no deep wards on either side of the jungle. Still in the early phases. Supports haven't actually purchased any extra ones. We had an early upgrade there on the Spell Thieves for Matt, I believe.
Looks like both of them actually, with some additional gold income required.
Sustain supports, staying in lane, trying to just cash in. No time to roam around. They just want to stay there and continue to try and bully.
Pushing in as well. Piglet's down significant amount of CS. He'll get a couple here, but waves coming in. 20 down as ReignOver looking to make something happen. That's the blast going down.
Matt flashed in too.
Wants it. Stixxay here, but I think he knows what's up. ReignOver gets exhausted, and CLG might be able to turn it around. Stixxay, he tries, he gets healed by Aphromoo, and Aphromoo's going to take down Matt. Stixxay still living for a little while longer, but he can't quite make it out.
GoldenGlue made the roam, and he's going to finish another kill.
Slow with the ultimate. Aphromoo caught up in the miasma. Twin Fangs coming in, and that should be a kill for GoldenGlue.
Whew. Team Liquid make the play on bottom side. ReignOver very active, going for that proactive gank. In the weak lane, this is the Cull Silver you talked about. They're flashing forward with the Ignite Nami, and ReignOver, they are eventually able to get that It was a counter kill, and Matt went down as well, but early roam there from GoldenGlue did mean that it was 2 for 1 in the end for Team Liquid. Plus, the buffs will end up being traded. By the way, when Xmithie saw ReignOver going bottom, he immediately went to counter jungle ReignOver's top side. However, ReignOver, because it was successful, gets to move in and make that a non-factor.
And that's the key thing. It's really good that it was successful because that almost was a disaster. CLG did what they could to try and outplay Huhi with the ultimate, gets ReignOver back in. GoldenGlue chasing down with the turret shot's gonna kill him. Matt, not enough healing.
A little bit one more to add to the blooper reel for ReignOver's Kha'Zix. Giving double buffs over to Huhi could be problematic.
Ultimate, but goes in anyway. Miasma's gonna keep Aphromoo out of the way. Huhi just going to clear this wave out. I like the attempt from the roam Soraka. Matt's up here as well, and they might be able to catch Aphro. Slow down there from the W.
Huhi save.
GoldenGlue still in. He needs a little bit more. Flashes info, but that's not enough. Now at least he kicks out GoldenGlue. There's Huhi with the kill, and now going to chase in onto Matt. Flash not available, and Matt's going to get snared up. There's the double kill for the Orianna.
And things go from bad to worse for Team Liquid around the mid lane. Over-aggressive back-to-back plays. They really wanted to punish Aphro here, but they don't respect the double buff Orianna coming in, able to shield and save him. Xmithie at his back as well. Crucial kick there from Lee Sin, and CLG now are snowballing very heavily.
Well, Stixxay going to work on this turret. That might be first turret gold as well for CLG. Wave's pretty big. Aphromoo going to help out and clear out the wave. Piglet here at Xmithie. They're also ready for a potential dive, and just straight in onto Piglet. He's going to try and take him down. He's got flash. He's going to miss that Tempest.
Yeah, I mean, his mind games there with the spell shield. They're like, okay, too far away to go for the Q. Might as well try for the slam. Doesn't reward them, and they're going to stick around for the turret anyway.
Yep, they do what they need to do here and take this down. Uh-oh, backdoor region's kicking in. Still enough as Xmithie punches it down. And that's great gold for CLG. They're up 4,000 gold or so.
Yeah, I mean, remember they got the first blood as well, so they've been cashing in all game long. This is the attempt onto Aphromoo. Cut that short, because now it's a new attempt.
Seems like we know what's about to happen. Xmithie, no, he's okay.
Yeah, he teleported in here. The Poppy's way up there.
Darshan looking for a slam, but Piglet and Stixxay going to go to battle. It's going to be a complex one to try and follow. Piglet going to get slammed down by the crit shot. Xmithie safeguards in to try and take him down there. Stixxay with a kill. Darshan pops up Matt and slows him down with a Q. Going to try and slap him in as Grasp the Undying's going to proc Matt. Just doesn't have any way to get out of this, and Darshan gets him.
Pushes him past the bubble there, doesn't get locked up, and CLG want to make this one a 3-game series. Explosive early lead.
Ooh, ulti from Huhi, looking for a solo something. Huhi not going to grab it. It does at least deter GoldenGlue from threatening down this side, as CLG are trying to take them out and Drake down.
Yep, Drake definitely going to go down here. Aphromoo healing Xmithie right back up, and CLG now have the option to rotate their AD carry support to continue the pressure. Like we said, they do not want to wait around for Team Liquid to get to the super duper late game where the gold difference doesn't matter anymore. But here we go. This is still the early game where a giant gold lead onto Stixxay plus 2 extra members at his back means they get the kill onto both members of the bottom lane, as Darshan is also rewarded for his teleport. There it is, he saves the charge to get right past the bubble and lands the extra kill.
Good stuff there from Darshan, making the plays on Poppy. Still even in CS as well. Lourlo holds onto his global. Xmithie gets his feet caught. They're just going to pull this wave off and take it down. GoldenGlue did that one nice roam play, but a little bit behind on CS. Huhi's actually got 3 kills now. In the early beneficiary of a lot of the early game here. And Merlin Nonofen's going to come up soon. He's got early Sork Shoes and a Dark Seal. Yeah, kind of curious for Orianna, but 6 stacks looking good.
6 stacks is looking good. We'll see if he upgrades up to the Magi.
Fingers crossed. I mean, they do have to snowball.
True enough.
Strategically sound decision, right?
I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Magi's purposes. Meanwhile, though, so much concentration on the bottom side. I think the roam in progress has a high chance of success if they're able to catch Piglet here.
Well, ReignOver's here, so it's 3v2 right now. Good flash from Aphro. There's the Jhin ultimate, should turn all around. Huhi looking for the perfect shockwave. Piglet's going to get snapped up. Xmithie gets chunked out. Stixxay snipes Piglet on the other side as Lourlo's TP down. TL going to look for the play, finding onto Aphromoo. They need to take out the healer, but the healing's still there. Good kick out from Xmithie to disengage, and ReignOver forced to flash out from under the deadly flourish.
And Darshan just gets the farm away. Hey guys, I don't have teleport, so CLG just defends themselves on bot. Whoa,
oh yeah, plays him, but he's still taking damage. Dodges that from the ultimate stun. Very nice play by Xmithie.
I mean, yeah, he gets it out. It was a little risky because I don't think they had seen ReignOver. If ReignOver was ready to jump over, they might have been able to execute him. But he does get the ultimate out of Cassiopeia and, you know, plays the expected tendency of Cassio player to immediately ult as soon as they take damage.
A little less impactful without his ultimate as well, but we'll watch this one again.
All right, so Aphromoo was baiting this whole time because, as we saw earlier with the camera pan, the roam from Huhi and Xmithie was started first. And even with the teleport here coming in, CLG don't sustain much meaningful damage while they killed off Piglet. And they're able to group around Aphromoo to save him, plus threaten ReignOver enough that he has to burn his flash. And another possibility of why he didn't want to jump in there to go for an execution.
You can see mid lane and AD carry looking good here for CLG. 3 kills apiece. Only 1 death between them. Stixxay is holding the honor on that one, and Omicron done. Ghostblade done for Jhin, and he should be quickly moving in towards that edge of night. Blue buff also over to the Orianna. It's going to feel great. Level 11 feels even better. And CLG, again, did get the bonus gold off the turret. They are still firmly ahead in this game. 5,000 gold up, if my terrible math is actually correct here.
Plus, really nice Drake spawns for them. They get the Mountain Drake to be able to take down some more turrets and help them with the Infernal to snowball this game ahead very successfully. I mean, we expected them to have the early edge as far as the comps and them to want to snowball ahead, but this is going much better than you would even plan for.
Well, it's been a great 14 minutes for CLG.
It's kind of the opposite of last game, where Team Liquid had a really outstanding early game and they kept CLG to 0 turrets for the entire game. Currently, the tables have turned and Team Liquid with 0 turrets and don't look like they'll be getting one anytime soon, but two pretty strong showings for each opposite side in this series, and it already poses some interesting questions for the game number 3 to decide this series. But that's a ways in the future. CLG still have to press this lead ahead to even up the series scoreline first.
Should be able to take this. Huhi going to zone off with the Orianna ball. Matt going to commit the ultimate. GoldenGlue looks for the play. Gets shockwave back into Piglet. Almost gets himself sniped. Flash from Huhi out from under ReignOver as the bullets are looking for the Straggler's turret. Is going to fall down. GoldenGlue eats the crit, and here comes Darshan with the teleport. Huhi ghosting in as Darshan looks to die, but CLG just take the turret.
Yeah, and they've got another minion wave. They could go for 2 here. Lourlo's heading down the river, so might want to go for some support, but he doesn't have summoners, so he can't get here very quickly, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, again, Orianna, very strong siege champion, able to zone people away. 2 turrets for CLG gives them 3-0 now, and a gigantic gold lead that continues to grow. 7,000 up. The CLG will all return back to base to spend their money. Infernal Drake up in less than a minute. Team Liquid gonna have to dig their heels in and play for very late game.
2 more minions, and Piglet cashes in on his coal, though. I want to zoom in and see the cash explosion over his head. Nothing else is happening.
Is there an animation for a cold gold explosion? I don't think I've ever seen it. Oh, it's gone now.
Yep, too late. We missed it.
Yeah, see the blue pings for CLG. They wanted to see it too. Spotting down where Piglet is. He's going to recall it. And building towards the Essence Reaver. Lourlo working on a turret. This is good news here.
Yeah, Team Liquid making some headway up here.
Darshan says no though. Yeah, Lourlo has to back out. And the thing is, in these situations, when we see gold leads in the early game, we usually start counting turrets to see, okay, if they can get these turrets, which is generally an eventuality in a game of League of Legends, okay.
Last game,
the expected value is there, right? Like, we can take these turrets and do, like, if we take them, which we should do at some point soonish, we're not that far behind. CLG are up with only 3 turrets.
Really, though, what Team Liquid should be thinking about is how to trade objectives, because you can't fight anything straight up. So what you would want to do is trade that low health top turret for this Infernal Drake instead of just hanging around defensively and going, oh no, we can't contest this Infernal Drake. And that's what they're trying to do. They chase down Darshan. He does have flash.
Does have ultimate as well. Keep his verdict. Oh, good dodge from ReignOver. Goes invisible and makes Darshan guess. Lourlo flashes forward, but Darshan living for a little while longer. Will finally go down to Lourlo. But needed a lot of work in Xmithie. Oh no, Piglet. Spell shields off, flashes there for Xmithie, but doesn't go for the dive.
All right, CLG going to try and pressure on the bottom side secondary turret too. Team Liquid should eventually be able to get that one on the top side. They haven't yet because it took a while to dive Darshan, but should be just a matter of cleanup duty.
There we go. Lourlo able to get a bit of gold back for the team, and like you mentioned, TL are looking to trade wherever possible. CLG, though, continuing to press their lead. Still waiting for some second items to come out, but when you look through TL, they barely have completed items on their side.
Yeah.
And this turret looking to go down as well. CLG just bursting forward in gold with every single objective.
And it's just because they're so far behind there, Team Liquid, that they are going to go ahead and lose extra on that trade. But that's what you want to do. When you are so far behind in gold that you can't currently fight any sort of even numbers skirmishes or team fights, trying to trade cross-map where you avoid big confrontation and get closer to that late-game goal is the name of the game. Meanwhile, CLG want to push the tempo, and they've done a pretty good job of it. Top lane is very obviously their next goal. 2 turrets left standing there, plus Baron will eventually pop up on that side.
And they're about to hit some good break points as well. Stixxay finishes Edge of Night, so his 2 items looking great. Darshan going to zone out. Matty knows they're there. Happy to chase them out of the area. Lourlo hiding in the top brush. Might be looking for Stixxay.
CLG are going to group up as 5, though, and make that a little bit dangerous for him. Yeah, still waiting there, though. Sneaky little tree.
Fire here. Lourlo might have a good flank set up. Edge of Night's going to make it tricky. It's worn off, though. Lourlo goes in for a TL. So forward, try and kill Stixxay. He flashes, but he's still going to get slowed down. The healing is there. Keeps him alive for a while, but not long enough. Darshan kicks Lourlo out of the fight, but he is looking to go down as well. Team Liquid with 2
huge team fight victory.
ReignOver kicked back by Xmithie, but the double kill comes out for Lourlo. 3-0.
The crafty tree. Lourlo is able to make it happen. They burst down Stixxay through all the healing coming from Soraka and Aphromoo, plus the shields. Much needed little surprise attack from Team Liquid there. CLG caught kind of walking it in with the giant gold lead that they have and the giant turret advantage. Very nice counter move there from Team Liquid. They don't want to let this one go.
No,
he waits for the Edge of Night to fall off so that he has the opportunity to go in. Then everybody dives right on him. They can just have that go button and pop the Sivir ultimate and just keep it rolling ahead. This is very scary because remember we mentioned the scaling on this Team Liquid squad is very, very good. And even though they're down Drakes, even though they're down a ton of money, you have to be careful about how many of those sneak attacks you let happen and how much gold you give back over.
I mean, they're only 3,500 gold behind now. Darshan just used his dash. Well, they're going to lock him up. They'll tower to have the pop. He's not that tanky, particularly against Piglet, and he should have enough here to take him down. Lourlo just not taking damage. Darshan eventually falls as Lourlo's on a rampage.
Another sneaky kill here for Team Liquid, and another turret trade, just what they want. Working their way. They've got a while to go, but definitely looking up for them as CLG need to buckle down.
Another objective trade here. CLG will stay up about 3,500 gold. The TL, again, trading is good for them, especially given the combo. In fact, they might get extra here. Keep that gold lead even closer. Yeah, they're going to get this. CLG is not in position, and Lourlo did such a fantastic job of punishing the expected play in top lane, although now CLG are doing the unexpected play.
And this could backfire on them. CLG, currently the ward is turned off, so Team Liquid aren't really expecting it. And that I think this is like a
zoning teleport.
It's a sleight of hand thing. They're like, look over here at this area. I'm teleporting in. That's actually a pretty genius little move there, just to keep them distracted. Shiny on this side, look over this way, and they complete the Baron sneak. So that actually puts CLG right back on track. Things were getting very worrisome for them. And it still is that possibility that Team Liquid are able to defend and just huddle under their turrets, but Baron gives you a lot more pushing power to just kind of run that gold lead through.
And important to remember, CLG are up 2 Drakes as well, so do you have some unseen gold as far as leads go, and a second Mountain Drake will be up in a minute 5, so CLG should look to take really good control of the map and knock down some objectives. The general premier take when you have a Baron buff is to break the base and get an inhibitor and move yourself into a winning position. I'm not sure CLG can get that much damage done, but they get themselves up in gold. They give themselves the best position to keep snowballing this game and keep Team Liquid's late game at bay for as long as possible.
And now look how cautious they're being around every brush. Sweeping, moving in S5, nobody is going alone. Looks like they've learned their lesson. and they're trying to make their way back up to that top side of the map to get the last outer turret standing.
Yeah, carries for CLG. Primed with damage though. Luden's Echo done for Huhi, working on his next major item with that needlessly large rod. And the last whisper for Stixxay means that he's doing an awful lot of damage with those spells and the auto attacks. So again, CLG just going to work on turrets. It's hard for TL to defend with the Baron buff, and Matt just takes big chunks.
Yeah, I mean, Shockwave only hits one as Piglet is able to spell shield it there. So Team Liquid feel pretty good about one of the major abilities from CLG now being on cooldown. Matt, yeah, he's a little bit low now. He's trying to heal himself up, and one more should do it.
Well, this turret's still taking damage. Cannon creep's been cleared out, though. ReignOver again, also eating poke. Xmithie doesn't pull the trigger on the big flank. Good spell shield from Piglet. Gets himself some mana back out of Jin's deadly flourish. And again, CLG, they have the Soraka. They've got Baron for a minute 40. They can just sit here and siege for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is going pretty decently so far for Team Liquid. CLG have to keep it up because they do not want to let Team Liquid farm around inside their own territory.
Lourlo again catching Darshan, who's actually eating turret damage, but Aphromoo keeping them healed up. I mean, Poppy's just soaking all the damage. And again, the cannon slowly but surely, gets killed. ReignOver smites it.
The wave on bottom is also building up, so CLG's patience does mean that both of the other lanes might require attention soon. We'll see if they can get past that real test you talk about, base, because that is always it, right? If you break inside, you get the key to unlock the base inside one of these inhibitor turrets. It means so much more. Oh, that was the ultimate from GoldenGlue. Xmithie again takes the Q, immediately turns around, and they're inside.
Yeah, Darshan actually just making sure to zone out Piglet and break this section of the base. Top lane inhibitors the next thing if they can get it, but they do break it open in top lane. CLG, do they dare stick around? They've got a decent amount of Baron buff left. Looks like they're going to play it safe. Don't want to really force a team fight unless they can find a good pick, although they rally back in and kind of juke TL a bit. Stixxay just firing pot shots.
Ooh, teleported in the backside. Lourlo's going in.
This is the play from TL. Darshan caught up in the front side. Stixxay trying to take out Lourlo. Xmithie over the wall. As TL are actually trapped on the other side. Darshan kicks Lourlo out. And here's the ultimate counter from Stixxay. Curtain Call fires into GoldenGlue. Bullet's going to find him. Crit's going to find Lourlo, though. ReignOver looking for the flank, but CLG can find him.
Most of the ultimates are down. All of Team Liquid's are, and CLG only have Xmithie's kickback and the healing from Aphromoo left. I think that Team Liquid can't really chase this.
No, I mean, Aphromoo just going to prolong this fight longer than they need. The Baron buff's going to drop. And CLG should be able to get out safely here.
Baron buff does time out without CLG actually getting the inhibitor, though. The door is open, but there's still a couple steps left here, and Team Liquid are hanging on.
And again, Mountain Drake up. TL actually pinged towards it, so we're going to maybe try and take this off the map before CLG can rally back towards it. CLG also spent some good gold, so they're going to be stronger as they've built up still that gold lead. But Team Liquid, if they can take this away from CLG, it's such a big difference to stack Drakes versus equalizing them. So TL, they're going to want to really get this.
And then run away.
He stole it, Xmithie!
Uh-oh, is he going to chase with this too?
Maybe, yep. Goes in with Orianna. Ball Darshan with the flank as well off the TP. Huhi on a rampage. Takes down the Nami. Piglet tagged Xmithie. Not in range yet for the second part, but he gets in range for a Piglet, forced to burn the heal. And now ReignOver's caught off the other side.
Xmithie has been on point with the objective steal so far. ReignOver is going to try and give him the runaround.
Good juke. Darshan going to keep running though. Stixxay gives up. Darshan's going to make sure he doesn't get back in, and CLG going to push the rest of the wave.
See if Xmithie will get it. Yeah, Lee Sin's pretty mobile. It's hard to get away from him. Does he have wards to hop to? Yes, he does.
Gonna keep going. Q lands in. I'm not sure he can win the 1v1. He's isolated. He's gonna try for it. ReignOver's just gonna have to stand his ground and fight.
He has ult. Xmithie has ult.
So procs in. Xmithie gets the kick back in. Heal from Aphromoo might be enough.
Yeah.
And he smites the red buff as well. He's gonna keep chasing ReignOver. Now with the health advantage, ReignOver blast cones out of the way. Xmithie tracks him. That's a real thing.
I wanted to see that.
It's still going. It's still going. Xmithie, does he have the kick? No, he doesn't need it. Used it already and gets the 1v1 kill. CLG in the meantime are breaking another point.
Yeah, I mean, that was comical and all, but meanwhile, as the observers want to show us, the game is ending.
I mean, maybe they're going to get this inhibitor. I think TL don't have ReignOver for 25 seconds after that wild goose chase. And there's the inhibitor they wanted off the Baron buff.
Yeah, the base is wide open now, so should be easy to return, but Man, Xmithie has been on point with the Baron secure in the last game to be able to steal it away, even though they still lost. Bought CLG some time. This time around, gets the Dragon, and then also gets the follow-up Q onto ReignOver so that they also get to chase and basically earn this inhibitor without the defense coming in. Darshan also had the teleport there, so it was kind of a two-man cutoff to secure these kills, but definitely needed for CLG to keep up the tempo and continue to press this one.
That's the worst possible inhibitor for Team Liquid to lose with Baron buff up in 20 seconds. Huhi just working away, hits level 16. Pretty crucial level up for him before what could be another big fight. But CLG was just going to do all their homework here. Prepare vision around the Baron area and force Team Liquid into two pretty impossible choices.
Yeah, and they're trying to get defensive vision up right now, so you know, they have the opportunity to try and jump on something, and they're actually jumping on mid lane. Aphromoo the target.
Yeah, not the bad one to kill. Piglet going to try and crit his face off. Aphro going to keep healing and buying time as Darshan looked up a few. Stixxay leaps in. Ultimate not there for GoldenGlue, and Xmithie's just in the mix going off. Aphromoo did go down, but CLG get a trade onto the mid laner. Xmithie misses that next Q, but Darshan still wants to chase. He doesn't have too much health left, but Piglet is going to make him pay for it. Stixxay snipes Matt there, looking for ReignOver, snipes him as well for the double kill. Last bullet's going to land in, and CLG win the trade.
The shields on Darshan, though, from Fed Orianna.
Goodbye, Piglet. Huhi with another kill.
And his own shield were just ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah, that is going to be the end of this story, as CLG are going to push this one to game number 3. We get more of this series. Pretty decisive, you know, early leads for both teams in the separate games. This is going to be a very exciting game number 3.
Certainly is. CLG with the Nexus wide open, looking for Lourlo. As Xmithie just going to do a bit of poke. They need to heal the redemption. Doesn't quite go, but a huge shockwave. He's going to delete a few members of the backline. Huhi goes off, and CLG going to tie up the series. All right, well,
completely different story this time around. CLG jump out to the first blood in the bottom lane. Stixxay there was able to blow up first blood, and then they're able to chain it pretty well. Team Liquid did have a small amount of a comeback there, trying to hold on, trying to farm for late for that comp to really come online, but CLG were eventually able to push it ahead. Sneaky Baron with the teleport near the mid lane bush to distract them and make sure they get to finish it, catching Team Liquid off guard as they were poised to make a lot of gold, you know, coming back there. A couple of turrets on the bottom side, and they were getting picks as well.
I mean, they did the right thing. Like, hiding in that brush was genius from Lourlo, but wasn't quite enough with CLG giving that Baron. Well, game 3 is just around the corner, so let's toss it to the analysts to hear their thoughts.